everyone, this is Anna from Koala Soap, and I am making a Valentine's Day soap for Kaylin. I'm going to be using a neon pink called Poppin pink from Stardust Micas, and if it's too loud, although Kaylin really wanted a neon pink, if it's too bright for this soap, I can tone it down with some just mica, which is white, but we'll see. I mean, she really wanted me to keep it neon, so we will keep it neon. We are going to do the same process we've been doing to get these swirls in our soaps. And when I was looking at these are now shrink wrap, so I'm not getting my hands all over them. You'll notice that this one has a nice little curved swirl going on, and this one is more vertical. So what I'm going to try is the same basic thing, but I'm going to try to see if folding it a certain way, which I was going to do in this soap, but I forgot in the middle of making it. So what we're going to do is we're going to melt down our shea butter and our glycerin. Each of these has 4 to 5 ounces in it, and then I have shea butter on the side over here, which is what we'll fill the mold with. I have my little mold here, my tester mold, which is nice because it's enough for her friends. And then I have this so that we're not pouring it all over. I just have this anxiety thinking that the soap's going to go on the counter, even though the counter's clean. I have to have it set. So let's go ahead and melt these down and get started. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mix our mica. I'm going to try to use these kind of gloves just to... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix the mica. And if these gloves, I just can't get used to them, then I'm going to go back to my other nitro gloves. I'm just trying to get used to these so I don't go through so many gloves. Okay, so we mixed it. It's really bright, so I am really trying hard not to mix too much. This is going to be really great for our neon soap. I got some on my hands, thank goodness for an apron. And we will go ahead and start mixing this. Okay. And I'm going to keep one of the shea butters just white. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in our glycerin. Oh, she's going to love it. I prefer a little bit of more of a pastel, but again, these are kids and they love this, so I think she's really going to go crazy over it. I'll show it to you in the camera in a second if you can't see it. This would be a really good color for bath bombs too. Okay, so that's it mixed in glycerin. Now we will mix it in our shea butter. Let's see how that looks. I need there to be a distinction between these colors, so I think we have it. I think we have it. If you want, you could put some either titanium dioxide in here, or a Stardust does make it just mica, which is just white mica powder, but I think we have it, so let me show you. I just wanted to make sure that we had a distinction, which it looks like we're going to have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be pouring this color first, the glycerin first, because the glycerin sets faster, and then I need it to set enough so that I can go ahead and pour these colors on top of it. So this color, it really just doesn't matter. It says it's at 126. Oh, before I forget, our scent today will be black cherry. I was going to use like a cotton candy or some other flavor for this, but she really liked the black cherry, so that's what we're going to be using. So I do need to take my gloves off so that I can put this on. So I'll add this and I'll be right back. Okay, so it's added. It smells like red ripened raspberry, I think, from Bed Bath & Beyond, I think. It smells really good. So I got this off of Amazon. Links to everything are on the bottom in the description. And the reason is it'll capture it. There's actually a couple reasons I got it. And so I'm going to pour it. And it's nice because it'll kind of, it's thin enough or flexible enough that I can mold it around a little bit. Okay, so we're going to let that sit. We're going to spray it with some alcohol, get rid of any air bubbles, and we will be back and we'll add our other colors. So what I'm noticing is if you look here and then you look in here, while there's two different distinct colors, I don't know that it's distinct enough, especially because I'm going to have a white in between them. So I am just going to add, this is just mica. This is the second largest size, and it, you know, when I was doing a cost analysis, this was like only $4 more, and you got so much more. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is mix this in alcohol and then put it into our Shea Butter pink. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we'll mix this just a minute. I already have some alcohol in there. I have some pink mica here. I got to be careful. Don't get any of it in here. And we will take a little bit of this white and we'll mix it in there. I always have like issues on and off with titanium dioxide because on my cold processes I usually get the streaks, and I do it in hot distilled water, etc. So what I'm going to do, especially for the melted pours, I'm going to try to just do it with the just mica. Let me pour that in. See if it lights it up a little bit. I'll try to put it over here so you can see it more. It lightened it up a little bit, so that's good. I just wanted a little bit more of a distinction there. Okay, I'm going to take a skewer and just see where we're at here. Good. Okay. Now we're going to do just our white layer. So 123, we're good. If you'd like, you could take a skewer and you can just like do these little hash marks. Okay. Squirt it with alcohol. And then as per our usual, this is at in the 120, so it should stay on top. But I always kind of go off to the side and make sure. I'm going to go a little slowly. Usually the middle is where I find that it's slower to dry. So I'm going to go on the outside here. And if you have a little bit of mixing, that's okay. Remember, we're going to just glob this whole thing up and put it into our mold there. We're just going to fold it a certain way this time. And none of this will go to waste, and I'll show you why. I am not putting any right here right now because I want to cover this main part. And whatever you try to do, try to keep the soaps on top of one another as best you can. Because just the pouring, running it down this plastic spout here, cools it down too. So now this shea butter is going to take much longer to set. So I may need to warm this up. I'm not sure yet. Our color is completely melted. It does have a little skin. We'll go ahead and squirt this with alcohol. And then we'll be back and then we'll pour our last layer. Okay, so this has thickened up. This I did not need to put and warm back up. It does have a thick skin on it though. It's at 99 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and squirt some alcohol on there. And we will pour very slowly, very close if possible, because I really don't want to puncture through. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm sorry I haven't posted in a few days. I was working and they were doing a lot of road work and tree cutting work around here, so it was really kind of loud and it was just really disruptive, and I thought, well, I don't think the quality will be very great with all of that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just trying to stay on the white. Now, it's okay if it goes off, that's fine. There's a little bit of skin, but the skin is already colored with the pink, so I don't mind as long as it's not clear. Okay. Every little bit helps. Okay. We're going to go ahead and let that set. We're going to spray it with alcohol, and I do need it to be fairly well set. So what I've done is I've taken our mold, this is our short tester mold, and I went ahead, I don't know if you can see it, but I marked it with a Sharpie. What I did was I set this here and here, marked with a Sharpie, marked with a Sharpie. So the idea is we're going to, once this is set and dry, or drier, we're going to cut straight down. We're going to put this layer on top, and then I kind of want to accordion it a little bit. We'll see if any of this works, but that's just kind of what I was thinking, because I'm really trying for that swirl that goes horizontal instead of vertical for this particular soap. So we will come back once this is set, and then we will go ahead and try our little experiment. We're back, and this looks pretty dry. It's still a little soft, but I think we'll be okay. So we have our markings here, and we have our mold. We're going to use this little hole right here to be the front. That way we're going to know how to roll it. And again, once I end up cutting into this, it may run. This whole thing may not work, but you know, let's just give it a shot and see. So I'm going to cut between my two lines here. See if I can unmold it easily. I haven't used this tray before. I just thought it might be a good idea. Okay. First layer, dark and a light pink. So what we're gonna do, hopefully I cut it to size good. Okay, I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and it's about here, I am going to roll it in, and I'm going to roll it again, and I'm going to stick it in there if I can get it to fit. Oh wait, I almost made a mistake already. Ah, okay. We are going to stick it in there, but we want the swirl. So I'm going to take this part so I can see all three layers. I'm going to put it where that little dot is. Okay, that's going to be our front, okay? So there you go. And then I'm going to move this. I guess I could just remeasure it where it's at, but I'm just going to move it over. I don't want to mark this up too much. So if this doesn't work, I just don't want a whole bunch of markings on this. So we're going to cut it again. Now this one's not going to be as perfect, right? Because it's kind of like the end part. Again, we're going to measure. This is a perfect square, so if you get the wrong side, that's okay. And then we're going to roll it again. Okay, and I have a little lip there, so I guess what I'll do is I'll just do it. Actually, I think I did it too small. Again, it's not going to be perfect, and we'll see if it works. I'm going to drop it in there. So one of the things that I'm a little worried about is if it's going to have huge air bubbles, but we'll see. We're going to pour hot shea butter on top of it. This is all scented. It smells wonderful. And then here's our little piece that's left, and I guess we'll just roll it as best we can. Make sure that we have it. I'm going to put that in the middle, right? Okay. I'm going to take a chopstick. I could use a skewer, but I think that hole is going to be too small. Now I know where I'm going to cut it. I have it at 1 inch here, so I'm going to try to get it in the middle so that I don't cut when I make it into the bars, so you don't see my little, you don't see shea butter going straight through. So I'm going to try and put these little dots between the lines as best I can. Hope this works. It would be really nice if it does. Maybe some more holes here. Not too close to the edge. Okay. So we have like 2.5 layers folded into this. We have it so that the layers are going this way towards this little hole. We are making sure that our mold is not deformed, and it seems pretty good. We are going to take our shea butter and we are going to melt it, and we're going to pour it at a higher temperature. So we'll get that melted and we'll be right back. Okay, the shea butter is now at 190. I had to go onto the website real quick. I didn't see the flash point on here. It's probably on here, I just can't see it. But the flash point is 200, so we're good. So I have added it into here also. It will not burn off. Okay, we are going to add some alcohol. And what we're going to do is try to pour into the holes. And what happens is this white's going to turn like a really light pink, I hope. Let's just see what our temperature is at again, one more time. Okay, 170. So let's go ahead and pour. And we're going to try and pour right into the holes. And if you don't have enough, don't worry. You're just going to melt some more shea butter. It gets a little hard sometimes to find your measurements in this. It shouldn't be, but for me it is. So I'm pouring in the holes because I want those holes go all the way down. And I kind of just want to make sure that we have enough soap. So I think I could maybe do 1 more ounce of soap in here. It would actually be okay without it, but I kind of want to cover up this right here. So let's do 1 more ounce. Okay, so I have another ounce, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's really melting in there. So I do have some air bubbles. Try to get those guys to come up. I've already put a little bit more of the black cherry in here. We are at the 180s with this. Just enough. Air bubbles are coming up. I actually like using this more. This is nice because I can take the whole thing. And I'm going to start squeezing. A couple more air bubbles have come up, but nothing bad. We'll see. I'm going to let this cool down a little bit because it's really warm from this shea butter. The embeds themselves were probably in the 80s to 90s, so I'm hoping that this soap will set up fairly quickly, but I think they're going to balance each other out. Okay, so this sit, give it a squirt with alcohol. I'm going to come back like I can see an air bubble coming up every once in a while. I'm going to come back every once in a while and kind of just check on it and squirt as necessary. Once it starts to set, those air bubbles are not really going to be able to be popped with a simple squirt of alcohol. So what I would do is just kind of go in with my skewer and pop it. These are alcoholable, but you can kind of see it's like when you're at the beach and you see the the little crabs are coming up. Okay, let's go ahead and let this sit, and I'm not sure if we're going to do a texture top or not. If so, I'll be right back. If not, we'll be back for the unmolding and the cut. Okay, and we are back. So I've unmolded it, and the thing is when you take it out of the mold to remember which one was the front, I just put it right into the the cutter. But so if I can remember, this is what it looks like. It looks like we have a lot. That was the bottom part, so this is the front. Okay. So we will go ahead and cut. So you want, when you're using a cutter like this, you want to hold it up and then off to one side here, and then you can cut. And let's see if it worked. Well, interesting. There you go. Let's see how this looked. So it's neat. It wasn't what I was going for, but it's still cute. She's still gonna like it for her friends. And so I think we're gonna go back to the ball method. I'm just gonna have to remember which way to put the ball in. So now that we have neons, I think we'll be playing with those. And there's the other one. There you go. It smells really good. And when you take this off, you're going to want to roll it off this way. So in case the soap's still a little wet. Now this is one of those chopstick skewers that I told you guys about that I wanted to try to avoid. So apparently I did. I went right through, but that's what it would look like. So you want to try to cut, obviously I did it in between where you're going to be cutting the soap. But I don't think it's a big loss. I think she's really going to like it. It smells really good. It wasn't quite the swirl I was hoping for, but it's still very interesting. And so we will go ahead and get these packaged up. So you guys have a really good day. This is Anna from Koala Soap. Thank you.